let me first explain why this video is actually so late. Now, sometimes I can be late, but this is real late. Like, literally, I had a complete DVR issue where the quad did not record, and I tried to get it on DVR. There was nothing on DVR. The only season 1, episode 1 was available on DVR, so I had to literally wait until Friday evening when they actually showed this episode again to actually be able to see it. So this is actually why it's so late. Now, with all that being said, I thank you for your patience, and let's get to episode 2. And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I want to put my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for season 2, episode 2 of The Quad. Again, I thank you for your patience. I know it is as late as hell, but it was definitely a good episode. I actually thought about not doing it and just jumping back in with episode 3 and kind of recapping some of the stuff, but no, it was actually a good episode. So we needed to actually sit down and talk about it. So let's do that. We start right off with Noni. Noni is on Cecil Diamond's lawn playing her saxophone, trying to impress him and get, because you know music always breaks Mr. Diamond down. You know, if you want to get to him, you go through music, because he's just an old mean bastard. But it wasn't working. It wasn't impressing him. He is pissed with her, and I understand it. I understand. There's nothing worse than a person stealing your work and taking credit for your work. So I understand where he's at with that. And he is not feeling Noni and her bullshit at all. And literally, she's out there, she's playing this tune, playing the hell out of it. He gets in the car, baby, and turns on the OJ's backstabbers, honey, and gave her, they smiling in your face. I said, oh, he reading, child, giving her subliminals, and pull off and left her standing out there with exhaust fumes in her damn face. But that's what you get, because that's what happens, girl. You were playing a game you don't know nothing about. You're trying to be vindictive. You're trying to be sideways. That's obviously really not you, or you're just really not good at it. He paid her ass dust and gave her, get on out of here. Anyway, next we see Eva. Eva is actually meeting with the board. And the board is literally dragging their feet about writing this check to Terrence's family. She's done the apology, okay? And this is starting to really irritate me. I'm like, Eva, I don't know. I'll probably never make it. I would never make it to be in one of those type of high-powered positions that require a level of ass kissing that I don't think I'm actually equipped with. The upper being, he didn't give me that. He gave me a lot of different talents so I could sustain myself and that I could make it through this life. But that ass kisser gene, he didn't equip me with that, because there's no way that there's nothing I could have told myself to get myself to apologize to Terrence's family about my baby and how he raped my baby and he killed himself. Child, I've been there, sent them a box of bullets in the mail. You know, I don't have that thing. I don't. I really don't, especially when it comes to my kids. If you want to get some problems going, I'll tell you what you do. Mess with my mother, my kids, or my money. And you can get whatever problem you're looking for, you can get it. And I mean, you'll get it. Full force. So I could have never done that. I was like, my hat was off to her when she did that. I was like, girl, I don't even know how you are going to make it through that. But as we saw, she wasn't making it through it either. It is bothering her. She's having nightmares about the whole thing. It's literally just looming over her like a dark cloud. And I'm like, yeah, you know, and it's like he's haunting her, literally. So I'm like, okay. Now, during that meeting, of course, Cecil and Carlton are just loving it. They're loving seeing her squirm. They're loving seeing that there's a problem, and it's all budget and the school and the money and all of this. And they're like, no, we can't go into reserves to write this check for her, this, that, thing, and the other. On and on and on. This constant battle. And her thing is, the longer you drag this out, the longer I have to deal with them, the longer it's weighing over on me. So naturally, Dr. Colwell is actually got Eva's back, you know, emotionally, because she almost cracked in that meeting. She was ready to snap out. It was cool. Now, the other thing that was going on in this episode actually happened at that meeting of the board. Now, you know, they always have students that they've chosen to help out, that helps get things together and that kind of thing. And there was this little fat ass boy named Latrey. Little fat ass Latrey is over there, you know, working with the food. His fat ass is still in the shrimp. What we found out later on is that the refrigerator, the cafeteria refrigeration system, is actually down. It's not working up to its full capacity, and the temperatures were not the way that they should be. That shrimp was bad. The shrimp was bad. And, you know, is when food poisoning happens, there's times when it will affect a large amount of people, and there's times where it will affect one person, and then that one person brings it to the masses. Now, we didn't see what actually happened with the other board members, because, again, they're not on campus. So they may have got a little food poisoning or whatever it was. We didn't really focus on that. But Latrey, his stinking ass is still in the shrimp. And he was still in them while they was at the meeting, and then his fat ass took the tray and took the rest of them and took them with him. So he was full of this shrimp. Honey, that shrimp damn near killed Latrey. He done ate the shrimp, and the only one he gave away, he had damn near like a half a tray of them left. The only one he gave something to, he gave one to Bo John. And I said, that's what your greedy ass get. Always begging, eating that old nasty ass shit. But Latrey was full of it. Bo John got sick too. Between the two of them, they ended up infecting the whole damn dorm, to the point that it was like this stomach virus thing going. They literally quarantined the whole dorm. So 2 people, you know, just show you how shit can, you know, I was laughing. They kept calling it Ebola and all this shots to date. They're a mess. They're a mess. But all of this is going on. Again, that stuff's not helping. They end up having to shut the cafeteria down. So, of course, those monies, you know, it's all this money stuff, because the bottom line is always green. Shutting down the cafeteria didn't help the problems that they were actually having, or any of that. So all of that was going on. In the midst of it, when it first started up, Madison was throwing up in Dr. Caldwell's class. And Sydney was like, oh my God, are you pregnant? So we don't know. We don't know if Madison's pregnant or if she just had the stomach virus. Okay, because they never really stepped on that. But I ain't giving up that Madison may actually be pregnant too. Because she was so stupid with that boyfriend. I'm not leaving that alone. I'm not. Something about that, I think that we're going to revisit that again. But whatever. But when everything was going down, Eva ran into Sydney and told Sydney, get off campus immediately, go home. You are going to stay home until all of this is done. So she did what her mother told her for a change. She went on and she went home. Madison got very upset with Sydney at the fact that she just kind of left her. When they were at the doctor's office, she just left her. And, you know, Eva told her that she would definitely give Madison the message, but she didn't. So it's caused a little bit of a rift. Nothing too bad that they can't fix, but a little bit of a rift. Before that happened, Sydney and Madison had a conversation about Sydney going out to see this guy that she was actually seeing. Cute, little, tall, little brown skin, little piece. And she had this little situation where she went to visit him at his place, and them two of them, they got to go on. And, you know, Sydney being, you know, Sydney's a little whorish. She's a little whore. Eva's daughter. Well, you know, Eva's daughter was Eva. And it's like, girl, Madison told her, she said, I think it's too soon, Sydney. And Sydney got all smart with her. I know what I'm doing. You know how Sydney is. And she said, okay. And she got over there and got to getting ready to get down. And, you know, she hopped up on him, taking his belt off. I said, look at you. Look at you. Is you live, whore? She's moving, baby. And then she started having these flashbacks and ended up having to stop all the action and told the boy, take me home and all of this, because Madison was right. It was too early for you to be throwing your coochie around. Simmer down. It's okay. Give your lady parts a break, honey. Sit down. Sit down. Anyway, so they got that going on. So Sydney's a little upset with herself. You know, she's upset with herself about the fact she just can't kick what's actually going on. At this time, she don't really know that her mother's going through it too. Every time she lay down, baby, she's having issues with that. Terrence is just like following her around all inside her subconscious. So they both needed to stay their asses in therapy, the both of them. That's what the issue is. But anyway, we actually see Carlton and Cecil Diamond having drinks out the one night, and Mr. Diamond gets a phone call, and it's the doctor's office, and they tell him you are in remission. So it's good news. He's dancing and carrying on. So that was good. Yeah, that's always good. Even though he's an evil bastard, I'd rather him be in remission. I understand fully. So he's in remission, and he says, first thing I'm going to do is get back at old boy that stole his composition. So the next time we actually see something with Cecil Diamond, hear that damn Noni's back on his lawn again. She's playing that damn sax. He comes out and tells her, he chastised her, basically. You know, she's like, I am talented. I can play. Yes, I made a mistake. I never thought that it would go that way. I wasn't trying to get at you. I was trying to get at him. And never thought that he would steal your composition and claim it for his own. He's like, yeah, that's because you don't know what you're doing, because you're just a spoiled little rich girl playing games that you know nothing about. Playing games that you know nothing about. He chastised her, got her ass together, and told her, and I'm going to think about putting you back. But I ain't saying nothing yet, but I'm going to think about it. And he sent her on off. He told her, get your ass off my lawn with all that damn noise. So I laughed at that, and I said, no, Cecil Diamond, the way that we know Cecil Diamond, he's getting ready to put some shit in motion, because he's a vindictive, mean, nasty bastard. So we're going to be keeping our eye on him. Okay, so Junior, you remember last episode, Junior failing tests and screwed up his grades and then got put off the football team. So he's going everywhere. He had to talk to Carlton about trying to get his grade redone and all of this kind of stuff. And child, he ended up going straight to the horse's mouth. He went to Dr. Colwell and asked her, can you let me take the exam again, you know, so I could try to fix my grade, because it screwed up everything. She says, you know what? I'm going to let you take the exam again. He's like, okay, good. When? She's like, right now. And he said, now he backpedaling the pussy popper. She said, She said, see, because you're not taking things seriously. Because if you had taken things seriously, you would have had the books. And you would have been studying. You would have had yourself ready. Because if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. She got his ass all the way together, and everything she said was correct. You're running around here like a chicken with your head cut off, but the only thing that you didn't do is what you should have done, which was learn the information. Learn the information, you dumb bastard. So she told him, I'm going to give you the exam again. He said, well, when? She said, when I get ready to. I'll let you know. You don't let me know. Get on out of here. Get on out of here and get ready. I said, all right. You know I love her. I love her. And every time I look at her, I just see Whitley. I see Whitley, but the grown-up version of Whitley, and more serious, funny. I love Jasmine Guy. But anyway, so she got his ass together and did tell him just right. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. This is the big thing. This was a big piece of why I actually did this review, and I know it's late. I don't care. This was a big piece. This is something I was waiting on. The coach and Eva go out to, and this is two things. The coach and Eva go out to Terrence's family's house, and they basically put their life out there on the line, and tell them, you know what, we got a lot of issues going on that's monetary at the school. We're coming. We're not trying to get out of paying the settlement, but we're just asking if you can give us like maybe a month. Was it a month or a 6 month? I think it was a 6-month extension, so we can actually, you know, get everything together, because we were having all these monetary problems. But we're going to pay the settlement. But can you give us like maybe a 6-month extension? And the father's like, you know, that's fine. The father's reasonable, and he's like, let us discuss it, and we'll get back in touch with you. And the mother is a bitch. She's a bitch, and I understand that she's hurt about the loss of her son. I understand that. But at the same time, there is a bitch that is found within that woman. She is that boy's mother. And he got some of her ways, because he was a bitch too. And she literally, as they were getting ready to go out the door, this bitch sat over in that chair. Now, even gave the apology, which was unwarranted. That bitch sat in that chair and said, so is that girl, how is she feeling? Is she going to give an apology for killing my son? Child, Eva turned around and looked at the coach and said, is she talking about Sydney? You talking about my baby? I said, here we go. I said, come on, Eva. Because then I'm waiting on Eva to act like me at this point. And she did. She said, you want me to have my daughter apologize to you and your family for the fact that your son raped my goddamn daughter? Bitch, you pushing it. I was like, girl, cuss her ass out. She told her, ain't no way I'll have my daughter apologize. Not only will she not apologize, your son shouldn't be dead. He should be alive and serving time in jail for what he did. That's where he should be. I said, oh, shit. And honey, the mother was giving, she killed my boy. She killed my boy. Fuck your boy, bitch. And fuck you too. You full of that dog shit. I said, that's just exactly what you get. She gave you just what you needed, bitch. She took and cut you under your breast and popped your head off like a damn Pop-Tart, bitch. She gave you exactly what you needed. I said, yes, Eva. Now push your heel in a little harder. She comes out of the house. Eva goes out of the house. And, you know, she was about broke with that. And the coach, she was like, oh my God, what have I done? You know, I'm like, fuck that shit. Who cares? Fuck that shit. Fuck it. You know, that's my attitude. But again, you know, she's always thinking of her career first. And the coach grabbed her up. He grabbed her up. That's what I told you it was the two-parter. Grabbed her up because this is who she should be with. Even the coach need to, yeah. Yep. But he grabbed her up and told her, you did exactly what I would have done. Fuck that shit. Don't worry about that shit. Fuck that shit. Fuck her and that dead-ass boy, okay? Fuck that shit. So I was all here for that. So I had to review, just from that scene alone, I had to review this because this shit was off the hook. And that was what I was waiting on. And I was so happy sitting over here with my legs crossed. I said, yes, 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 yes. Later on that night, another piece got pulled together. Eva's in her dream, having her dream. Terrence is stalking her again. It's the same recurring dream. He's stalking her again. But this time she started beating his ass. But he ain't going away. But she beating his ass. And Sydney actually walks in on her mother having the nightmare and all of that. And then she just kind of, she woke up and she broke it. She was like, how do you do it? How are you just okay? Like, how are you walking around here and you're just okay? And Sydney told her, I'm not okay. Okay, there you go. I'm not okay. And she's like, but I got you and I got my friends and I got my little fighting class and all of that. She's like, but I know I ain't really okay. So there was some bonding that took place, necessary bonding between Sydney and Eva. At that point, I was really glad to see it. Now, what I really want them to do, I want the two of them to get their asses back in counseling. And I know that Eva is intelligent enough, and so is Sydney, to know that they need to take their ass back to the psychologist. So that was it. And I needed to put these things out there. So that's why I did do this review. It was necessary for the journey we're on. So that was it for episode 2. I got everything straightened out in my DVR, and we'll be back on track on Tuesday. We'll be back on where we should be. Again, I thank you guys for your patience with me with this, and we're going to get on to what it is that we do. All right, later, guys.